In a kingdom where traps catch more than beasts and friends hide sharper fangs than foes, a poor boy's patience led him to danger at the throne of Feel. How will he escape from the situation? Or will it turn to be his breakthrough? Watch till the end. The story began with a poor orphan with nothing but patience and a greedy hunter chasing a crowns. In the lush rolling hills of the kingdom of Feel, there lived a poor boy named Reeves who had no parents. To survive, he carried loads for people in the village. As he grew into his teenage years, he took up hunting. Reeves and his friend Doran soon became skilled in tracking and trapping wild beasts. But Doran was a man of pride and greed. Though talented in the hunt, he was always more interested in shortcuts than hard work. Whenever they set traps or tracked animals together, Doran would sneak back in the night to steal meat from Reeves's traps before morning. Reeves, however, was patient and observant. He saw through Doran's tricks, but never confronted him directly. Instead, he would ask subtle, playful questions that hinted at the truth. "Strange," Reeves would say with a smile. "My trap was empty this morning, but the animal's track stopped right where your pack lay. And sometimes, funny how the meat we dressed yesterday seems lighter now. Perhaps the forest spirits are feasting, or maybe someone else." Doran would laugh nervously and brush it off. Reeves never pushed further, knowing that accusing Doran outright would only sour their friendship. He was too wise to waste energy on petty squabbles. One bright morning, as the mist lifted from the Emerald Hills, a royal herald rode into the village square, blowing a long silver horn. Curious villagers gathered quickly. Hear ye," the herald proclaimed. "By the order of His Majesty, King Malric of Feel, the beloved rabbit of Princess Lyra has gone missing from the royal gardens. Whoever finds and returns, it shall have the honor of marrying the princess." Princess Lyra was not only the most beautiful maiden in Feel, but also wise and kind. To marry her meant a life of comfort, power, and admiration. Doran's eyes lit up. He slapped Reeves on the back. "Well, my friend, it seems fate is smiling on us, or rather, on me. I can already see myself standing beside the princess at the altar." Reeves smiled, calmly and knowingly. "Congratulations in advance, Doran. But how are you so sure you'll get there first? As for me, I must confess, royal life isn't for me. I prefer the quiet woods over the noise of the court." Doran laughed heartily. "You always say that, but don't worry. When I win, I'll invite you to the wedding feast. In fact, I've already caught the rabbit." Reeves was surprised. They hugged. "I'm proud of you," Reeves said sincerely. "And since you're so eager, allow me to offer you something that might help." He reached into his bag and pulled out a beautiful golden cage, finely crafted from pure gold. "Take this. If you're going to present the princess's rabbit, you'll need something worthy." Doran's eyes widened. "Reeves, you're a true friend. This is splendid. The king will be impressed." Reeves bowed slightly. "I hope it serves you well." But the cage was no ordinary cage. It was an enchanted relic Reeves had once found deep in the forest. The magic cage could walk, and it always returned to its rightful owner. A break. Please don't forget to share. Watch this video. With no genie to help, Aladdin made a wrong wish that landed him at Wonderland, where he became as tiny as Spoon. It's thrilling and interesting short story. Continuation. Triumphant, Doran placed the rabbit inside the cage and set off toward the castle, whistling with joy. But just as he reached the castle gates, his heart sank. The cage was gone. Frantically, he searched the bushes, the moat, even nearby trees, but the cage had vanished. Moments later, a familiar voice called out, "Good day, Doran." Reeves stood behind the gates, holding the cage with the rabbit calmly nibbling on parsley inside. "I found this little fellow near the castle walls. Seems like he was coming here on his own." Doran's face flushed with anger. He stormed up to Reeves. "That's my rabbit. I caught it first." Reeves tilted his head innocently. "Oh? But you weren't here when I arrived. And this cage, it's the one I gave you, isn't it? Strange how it ended up back with me." Before Doran could respond, King Malric appeared on the steps of the castle, flanked by guards. "Well, well," the king said, stroking his beard. "I see the rabbit has been found. It seems both of you played a part. Come forward." The two were ushered into the grand hall, where Princess Lyra stood, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you both," she said kindly. "This rabbit means the world to me." King Malric nodded. "Indeed, but before any reward is given, I must ask, how did each of you come upon this rabbit?" Doran, eager to claim glory, spun a tale about how he bravely hunted the rabbit and how Reeves merely found it afterward. Reeves, calm and clear, simply said, "Your Majesty, I got the rabbit from Doran." The king narrowed his eyes. "Then why did you steal from him?" Reeves bowed. "My lord, it was not theft, it was justice, a grand revenge." The king listened carefully, then clapped his hands. "Guards," he ordered, pointing to Doran. "Seize him." The guards moved swiftly. The king turned to Doran with stern judgment. "You have been stealing from the royal castle for months. I now see you were the thief we've been searching for." Doran shouted in protest, but it was no use. "I feared the culprit was among us," the king said gravely. "Now I know it was you all along." Reeves's eyes widened. "Your Majesty, I swear I had no part in his crimes." The king nodded. "The evidence clears you. He will be imprisoned for his theft." And so Doran was led away in chains, his dreams crumbling into dust. Reeves stood silently, unsure of what would come next. "My lord," he said, "may I now return to the forest and continue my hunting?" The king let out a long breath. "I never truly intended to offer my daughter's hand, but I had to catch the thief. Now that I've done so, and you are innocent, I must honor my word. You have won the prize I never wanted to give." Reeves opened his mouth to protest, but before he could speak, Princess Lyra stepped forward. She had been listening from behind the curtain. She smiled. "I wouldn't mind marrying a man who prefers hunting to thrones." At the grand royal ball, Reeves and Princess Lyra held hands in marriage, surrounded by cheers and music. And so, by wisdom and patience, Reeves became the unlikely suitor of the princess. As for Doran, he remained in the king's prison, pacing behind iron bars. And the golden cage? It never forgets. Watch this video. Cinderella is imprisoned by her stepmother. How will she get to the grand ball? It's really interesting.